Hi, everybody. Just want to introduce ourselves. This is Miss Ava June.
This is Ava June. On this episode of Virally Different, her mum, Kristen, shares their story, a journey of love, resilience, and joy while navigating life with Down syndrome. Through a question and answer interview, Kristen gives us a deeper look into Ava's world, from early health challenges and milestones to the happiness, determination, and personality she brings every day. She also shares what inspired her to document Ava's journey online, turning their experiences into hope and connection for others. Their story goes beyond a diagnosis. It's about faith, family, and celebrating every moment of joy along the way. Every reflection reminds us why we share these stories, to educate, inspire, and connect. This is Virally Different, and this is Ava's story.
She's about 14 months old, and I am Kristen. I want to talk more about kind of what inspired me to share more of her story. So when I was about 14 or 15 weeks pregnant, we found out that she was more than likely going to be diagnosed with Down syndrome. So it was really, really tough for us. And I will say that there were some other accounts on social media, like Huddy Buddy, that really helped my husband and I just really see the possibilities with Down syndrome, just how happy they were. And so I wanted to hop on, start an account with her and just show, look at you. Hey, are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? You're just so cute. Yes, you are. But just to show, she is just so precious. And that, it will be tough at the beginning, but just know that there's a lot of happiness that's going to come with it. Some of the joys that she brings to our lives. Anytime that she smiles, which she is always smiling. She's such a happy baby, just melts my heart, and love sharing that with others, huh? You're so sweet watching Mama talk. You're so sweet. But she's just so patient, and I just can't describe the amount of joy that she brings to our lives. But I will say, it has not always been easy. At the beginning especially. You're just watching me talk. At the beginning especially, we almost lost her at 2 weeks old. So we knew when I went in for my 20-week anatomy scan that she was going to more than likely also have heart surgery. So she was diagnosed with an AVSD that was going to need repaired. The hopes would have been at like 4 to 6 months. And we had the heart surgery, went up to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Very, very successful heart surgery, and she's doing so well. So those are really some of the biggest challenges that we've had so far. And just, of course, there are typical delays when it comes to crawling and walking, but she's on her own timeline. And you know what? This girl is determined, and she's going to be crawling around and walking before we know it. So I'm so super proud of her. Yes, I am so proud of you. And the fact that she's already, eating a bunch of solid foods. Yes, you're just such a happy girl, and I'm so proud of you. So we've also, with me posting about her more, there's been some negative comments. Most of them, I would say 95% of them have been super positive. And, how I respond to the negative comments, most of them are people that are just looking to pick a fight, right? And so I just don't. I most of the time delete. Some of them I do respond to, just because genuinely I want to be her advocate and stick up for her. I did make a post about some of the negative comments, more so to show, and then I blocked their names out for good reason. I didn't want people to go on to their page and post hate comments, because that's not what that was about. It was more of, most of these people just don't know what comes along with Down syndrome, and then there's a lot of happiness. So just to kind of post, it's just a reason that I'm an advocate for her, is just to show that there's a lot of happiness that can come along with. So another question is, do we have any fears or worries for her future, and, how do we cope with them? And of course, there's some fears that come along with it, but my husband and I have just such a strong faith, and we are constantly praying. We just go day by day. And the fact that she's just so healthy right now, we're just so thankful for that. And we thank God daily for her and how much of a blessing she is, just because, our journey to get her has not always been easy. We had 3 miscarriages before her. I went through cancer, and so it's just quite a journey. I never thought I'd be, 42 years old with my first child, but that was just God's plan for us. one of the questions is, what's the most meaningful message or comment that I received from the online community? And I have gotten a bit, but this one in particular from an older lady, she said, please don't stop sharing your pictures and videos of your Ava June, that she lost her husband last July, and she's just her inspiration to keep going each day. And so to receive those kind of messages brings tears to my eyes. Just, I mean, that's a big reason for sharing her, is to bring joy to others that are going through tough times. And, you know, I had another lady that also said that she was going through chemotherapy treatments, and, you know, she's her inspiration to get through all those treatments. So big reason why I post that. So there are some things that I'm involved with, and one of those being hopestory.org. And that's where you just go. I go to local doctor's offices. My OB, one in particular, that handed a big pamphlet with information on the best ways to deliver the diagnosis. Again, for me, it was not a positive experience. It was, I'm so sorry. We're going to let you decide what you want to do. And so just being an advocate for delivering more of a positive message when a mama and dad get, you know, that diagnosis, because that makes a big difference, I think, in the journey. So I'm very involved in that. And so again, that's hopestory.org. And then also just trying to be more involved in some of the local Down syndrome organizations, and so helping them out as well.
On every full episode of Virally Different, we like to feature a post from one of our platforms, a way to spark conversation and stay connected with our community. Here at Virally Different, we love hearing people's stories just as much as we love sharing them. It's what brings us together, reminds us we're not alone, and helps us see the world through each other's eyes. So, we're curious, why do you enjoy hearing other people's stories? Unfortunately, there aren't any comments on this post yet, but we're really hoping that next week we'll be able to feature some of our community's thoughts, the kind of comments that spark new conversations, insights, and connections. And that wraps up this episode of Virally Different. Thank you for watching and listening to Ava June's story. If you want to hear more stories like hers, check out our YouTube page, A Home for Every Kind of Different. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Drop a comment, share your insights or experiences. You never know, you might be featured in our next episode.